Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Tricia and Jeff.
Hello,
Hello.
cheers.
Cheers, welcome. Hopefully you've got a nice tea or coffee or whatever it is you'd like to join us with. So,
What are you drinking today for your tea?
oh, okay.
Do you want to have a sip first, or?
Yeah. I am having the Immunity, which is Immunity is by the brand of 4 O'Clock, and it is a reishi mushroom. It is organic, and it's reishi and moringa. Moringa is how you pronounce that properly. Two mushrooms, reishi and moringa, and it to me it has a chocolatey flavor, which I like chocolate. In case you didn't know that, but I do like a bit of chocolate, so it has a chocolatey kind of flavor to it, and more of a robust flavor to it. So I enjoy that. What do you have today, Tricia?
I don't think moringa is a mushroom, is it?
I thought it was.
I don't think it is.
Maybe I'm mistaken. I
think it's a herb, like a plant. But
all right, I'm looking at the photo and just thinking that it's just mushroom, but maybe that greenery is the herb moringa. I've got to do some research. There you go. I'll learn about moringa for next week.
But we drink that tea quite often. Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't even know who told us about that one.
No, I think you just found it in the grocery store. But it's quite good. So today I'm drinking a turmeric golden milk, it's called, with chocolate. So this one is from my supplement store, but it's it's got cocoa in it, a little bit of dates for sweetness, turmeric root, and organic coconut, vanilla, sea salt, cinnamon, cardamom, and ashwagandha and black pepper. So black pepper is really important if you're having anything with turmeric to help with like inflammation, to reduce inflammation, because black pepper is needed to access the curcumin out of the turmeric. So just a little note there, if you get anything, make sure you have the black pepper. So this one is good. I mean, you don't taste the black pepper, but it's it's good.
So if I sometimes use turmeric root in stir fry for lunch. You're saying if I've put pepper on that, that's better to assimilate into the body?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I learned something new too. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyway, that one's good. It's from a good company, Botanica, and again, off my supplement store. I ran out of the reishi hot chocolate that I like to make a lot, but I always have this one on hand in the back round in case I run out. So this is good. Getting my chocolate fix without having my favorite there.
So this is a chocolate themed day, apparently.
Yeah.
We don't have any actual chocolate to eat, but things that are like chocolate.
Yeah, no surprise in our house though.
What else have you been up to?
Well, I think I told you I've been really into this sourdough. I wanted to show you
baking.
One of my loaves of sourdough that I made. Isn't that beautiful? No burnt crust on the bottom. It's a little misshapen, but doesn't matter.
It's character.
It's good. So this one is, I'm starting to experiment more with flours. So this one I use a rye starter, and this is half white and half whole wheat. So trying to get out of that starchiness of the white flour, but it does take a little bit of practice each time you do it. I did make 2 today, and I gave 1 away as a Christmas gift, as I said I was going to start doing. So so that's quite fun. And then the other thing on the bread spectrum, what I wanted to show you. So I've been making up this bread dough for just to have on hand, to make things quite quick and easy to make. To my surprise, so I make a huge batch of it. To my surprise, my kids have been using it. This is how big it is. You can see all the air bubbles in there. So this is all just bread dough. So it's flour, whole wheat flour, yeast and water and salt, and just a little tiny bit of sugar, a couple of tablespoons. And so I make this up. It's like a no knead dough, and I stir it and let it rise for 2 hours, and then I put it in this container and put it in the fridge.
So you put it in, how much is in there?
It was only like this full when I put it in. Yeah.
So as it's risen, it's doubled in size.
It's doubled in size. And I took some out already because I made a cinnamon raisin bread for breakfast for the kids this morning. So I've taken some out already. So the wonderful thing about this is that if the kids need a snack, what they'll do is they'll come and they'll grab a hunk, and then they'll flour a board and they'll roll it out And my daughter's been making a lot of cheese bread, I would say. So kind of like a pizza, but without, just cheese on it. So she'll roll out some and then she'll put some cheese on it and put it in the oven. And then my younger son's been making cinnamon rolls with his. So he'll roll it out, put butter and sugar and cinnamon, roll it up, and then bake it in the oven. So that's what he's been doing with it. So it's been quite handy. But so the last couple of weeks I've been making it up at the beginning of the week. We just use it periodically throughout the week for buns, or like I said, a bread that I made for the kids this morning. And then Friday, there's always a chunk left, and we use the chunk left for our pizza dough. So it's so super handy. And I love it that the kids can get in the kitchen and like actually make something homemade. So grabbing the dough, rolling it out, and putting in that energy. And they're so proud of themselves too. Like Foster is just like, oh, my cinnamon rolls, and they're so good. And then I tried to make cinnamon rolls for breakfast on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how thin did you roll the dough, and how long did you put them in the oven for? So he was quite a critic on my on my cinnamon rolls.
On his baking technique versus yours.
Yeah. So anyway, that's been really good, and it's super easy. And I know the ingredients, right? I have my yeast that I put in. I'm using organic flour. So there's not a lot of other additives or preservatives in there, which is great. So yeah, and my kids are learning some skills along the way. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in the kitchen.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think from last week. I recorded the Stretch and Relax class number 8.
Right.
Yeah, Stretch and Relax class number 8, and that just got uploaded to the website this morning as per the day of the recording of this. So that's out there for everyone. That's a 28 minute total body stretch. It was a good one. It was fun to record, and I think I'm going to go back and use that one myself a little more often. I've been doing not as much with the bands. I actually went out with and did some weights, despite having cold handles, did some weights in the air last week as well. And a few a little more yoga than maybe I normally do for myself. Yeah, so I've been doing those things.
And I noticed a pair of weights got brought into the house too. So
that was Foster.
Oh, okay.
Foster was interested. I don't know where that came from, but he brought in some weights the other day. So they were used for who knows exactly what. I know he did
bicep curls.
A little bit of.
That's all he does is walk around doing bicep curls, which is good. That's just fine.
And then outdoor fitness still. There's now with a little bit of snow on the ground, I've been moving some snow. And I'll tell you a story about our chickens. I know sometimes we talk about the chickens or the chicken coop. So we have a portable chicken coop, which just acts like a wheelbarrow. You can pick it up and roll it on these set of wheels to move around. And I think I've mentioned we're in the process of moving it inward towards the shed so that they're covered up for winter. But I really didn't think we were going to have the snowfall like this as we have already. But anyway, the chickens don't like it.
No.
So I have shoveled for them a path from the chicken coop over to the shed, just like, 2-foot path so that they can walk along the grass to get over to the shed where it's dry. And then they can also get in there and have a dirt bath and have the sun on them. But yeah, it's funny. They come out and they'll place their feet on the snow, and it's just like instantly retract the foot. Like, what is this? Like they've totally forgotten from last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, like after being around the snow for a little while, like within a week or so, they will go in through, like, I'd say 1 centimeter of snow and travel around. But at the moment, they're not interested at all. So I've shoveled the snow for the chickens.
So the other thing, Jeff went grocery shopping yesterday,
right.
And he brought home some oatnog. So this is the time of year for eggnog. But, if you look at the back of that eggnog carton, it is loaded with sugar, lots of preservatives in it, additives in it. So going with something a little bit more natural, not to say don't have the eggnog. Like, I will definitely have the true eggnog at some point over the holidays, because there's nothing like having that. Well, I love eggnog, so nothing like it. But in the meantime, as we're going through this holiday season, then having something a little bit better, like an oatnog. I know there's ones made with almond milk, there's ones made with coconut milk, and they tend to have a little bit less sugar and a little bit better products. You can even see on here, this is GMO free, so we know that the oats have not been genetically modified. It's not organic, but it's still a little bit better version, and then this one also says that it's gluten-free. Yeah, so something to think about when you're out in the grocery store. Take a look for some of these things out there and bring them in.
I don't know how to. I think we have tried before to make our own eggnog.
I made it. Yeah, it was good. It turned out more like a pudding. It was very thick.
Maybe we should try that again this year.
Yeah, we could
see how it goes. Maybe if we do that, we'll keep you posted if we make a homemade eggnog, because then certainly you control even more so your ingredients. But
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it was thick, because if you think about, well, I don't know if you know this, but if you make a pudding like from scratch, it's like usually like a flour and milk and then eggs to kind of, at the end you add like eggs to kind of thicken it. So yeah, it makes sense that it would get thick. Probably those preservatives in the eggnog are what keep it from getting thick.
I don't know.
Possibly. Anyway, that's my thought.
We might try that. We might try and let you know how we make it with that. We've the kids have been mentioning or talking about other classmates missing. So we're getting into that cold and flu season through the, this is
missing school. That's what you're saying.
Missing school, like just normal stuff for school year or this time of year for anyone, right? You might experience a cold or a flu, but I know you wanted to talk a little bit about how you might support yourself for a cold and flu season. So what do you got for us?
So this is, my holistic health pharmacy of things that I have on hand for the family if they start to get the sniffles. So one, about this time of year, I start to give the kids a multivitamin and make sure they're taking it daily. So just to make sure they're topped up in their vitamins and nutrients. So that's good as well. The other thing is to make sure that they're getting vitamin D. Vitamin D is really good for your immune system. So I will, when I remember, give them a vitamin D supplement. But if they are not feeling well, I will make sure that I supplement, give them a vitamin D supplement as well to help them with their cold symptoms.
Right.
So vitamin D is one thing.
Can we
talk
more about that? So why, right? Like, well, obviously we're heading towards winter solstice, right? So the least amount of sunlight in a day, and the angle of the sun for us in North America here is quite low. So the intensity of what you might receive if you are spending time outdoors, you get very little actual vitamin D from the sun. So yeah, if you can get it from food sources like fish and stuff like that, that's great. But if not, then you want a good product that's or good quality vitamin D3 that's going to uptake and boost you, because your body needs that, right, for keeping your immune system functioning well, as much more than that. But in this case, just talking about that. So yeah, still get outside for sunlight is my recommendation. But beyond that, everybody should probably consider vitamin D supplementation through the winter in Canada.
Yeah, and you can get tested for it as well. You can go to the lab and just pay for the test yourself to see where your levels are at. And just a note on nutrition, so where you get vitamin D from if you were not to supplement, I mean, it's going to be tough, but the best thing you can do is get grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pork, free range chickens, making sure that they're like outside, because they absorb vitamin D, and vitamin D is absorbed in our fat cells. So the fat in the animals is what is going to give you the vitamin D that you could need. So that's so
assimilate and use.
Yeah. Okay. So vitamin D.
Farm raised. What am I trying to say? Not farm raised, but big production, where some of these animals don't see the outside or the light of day. Yeah, but those farm raised outdoor animals are gonna share their goodness with you.
Yeah, and the meat is so much better too. So it's good to have that. The other thing on the list is I definitely top them up with vitamin C. So this vitamin C is 1,000 milligrams. I'm just giving recommendations, no medical advice, but 1,000 milligrams. So you can have a lot of vitamin C in your body. So don't shy away. If you grab a vitamin C supplement, it's only got like 50 milligrams. Might not really do too much. So you might want to get something a little bit more. So vitamin C is always on deck. And then also zinc. And I love these little zinc lozenges. So if they, it's something that they can suck on just to help open up their airways. If their throat's a little bit sore, then they can suck on that and just help to soothe their throat a little bit. And they taste good too. So that's something that I have on hand. The other one is this throat spray. So this is a propolis throat spray, and from Beekeepers Natural. So you just open up, go and spray a couple of squirts in the back of your throat, which again is really soothing for the throat, and it's got a sweet taste because it's from bee pollen. So it's a little sweet taste. So this is good.
So if you don't go it doesn't work as effectively.
And echinacea. A lot of people run to the store to get echinacea when they are when they're not feeling well. So this is a liquid echinacea that you put a teaspoon in a cup and have it as a tea. So echinacea is this one also has elderberry as well. A lot of people go get elderberry when they're not feeling well. So mixed reviews on this one. So sometimes my kids will drink it and it'll be fine. The next day they'll drink it and they'll say, oh no, that tastes like puke. So I can usually get a couple of cups in them, but that's it. But at least that's going to help with those natural herbs in there. And then the last one that I have on hand is called a Cold Pro formula. This is capsules that just have herbs in them. So herbs that help with your immunity. It's got astragalus in it. It's got reishi mushroom, like we talked about in the tea. It's got echinacea extract, and it's got American ginseng. So just some good herbs to have to help with your immune system. Yep. So, you know, these are the things I usually give them. You know, this is sprayed throughout the day. We have tea throughout the day. Usually the vitamins I give them in the morning, and then they can, if their throat's a little scratchy, I'll let them kind of suck on as much zinc as they want to. And that will be during the day as well, at the beginning.
But you're saying with those, like the spray and the tea, that's like when and if they're symptoms, they have those symptoms, right? No, or you're saying but the supplementation you may want to take, like the vitamin C and the zinc stuff, as a preventative as well, like not wait until you get it.
You can even take you can even take this as a preventative. Sure, just take a
just saying
day. And even the if your throat's a little scratchy. And then essential oils, I love doing eucalyptus. It's just really opening up for their airways if they're stuffed up. So if they're having a bath or a shower, I'll put a few drops in, I'll ask them to put a few drops in their shower. I'll put a few drops in their bath water, and close the door and get the bathroom nice and steamy for them. Steamy. And I'll always put it on in the diffusers around the house, as well as thieves, which I didn't bring, but thieves is good just for killing the viruses. And also on the bottom of their feet. So I'll just kind of massage the bottom of their feet with eucalyptus. And and now in terms of food, I always have chicken stock on hand. I don't have any to show you, but I always make a chicken broth. So we save all of our bones from the chicken that we eat. I keep them in the freezer. And then I always have a jar of frozen stock in the freezer that I can pull out. And when I don't have that stock anymore, I have bones that I can use to make more stock. Yeah. So always having that in, it's comforting, it's warm. And sometimes kids don't really want to eat when they're sick, which is fine. They should really listen to their body, whatever they want to do. So it gives them a little bit of nourishment without making them feel really full, or that their digestive system has to do a whole lot. So yeah, so that's what I add. Is anybody, and love to hear from you if you guys have anything else that you have in your home pharmacy that you like to use as well. I'd love to hear those remedies or things that you find help for you. Always good to stockpile some stuff and have it on hand and just try it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll add one to this. This is just flew off the top of my head. Coming from an energy perspective, or even from a physiological perspective, right? If you are blocked up, you can self-massage yourself, right? So I know if you get stuffy, you can think of getting in and generating some massaging. If you start in at the nose and pull out and put some pressure in and pull out, and just working through those cavities there, you're going to stimulate blood flow through, and you might also get some lymph movements through, which may benefit. So you can come across under the eyes, across the nose or the face. You can go the other way too, like down, pulling downward, and you want to add some pressure, but any of that stimulation through there might help move energy through the space, just for the sake of the massaging effect, and then the actual massage pressure moving and stimulating blood flow through there. Like even that little bit already, I can feel my face feels a little warmer already. I don't know if it's coming across on screen, if it's any redder, but but anyway, you can, there's a simple one too. If you're really stuffy, you could do some energy work, massage work on yourself.
All right. Did you have that out for?
Oh, I don't know. No, I was just going to say, yeah, vitamin C. There's always good natural sources, and 'tis the season for clementines locally anyway. So I know these are going, I don't know, easily one a week box, that is, that the kids devour them, which is fantastic, right, for a natural source of vitamin C.
Yeah.
That's why I had that out.
And I find it interesting because when they come in store this time of year and you bring them home, and like you said, the kids devour them. It's almost like they may be a little deficient in vitamin C, and their body is saying like, get the oranges in, eat. And they just, so many that they go through.
They go fast.
All right, so you have something special that's happening here at the end of December. So do you want to share with us what's going on?
Not necessarily the end, but in the past few years, we've done, maybe it's 3 years running, we've done the 12 days of fitness. So we led you through a variety of exercises as a challenge to follow along daily for 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of fitness, to give you 12 different exercises and take on the challenge of doing those. So this year I'm gonna twist that a little bit to make it based around energy medicine. So we're gonna call it the Christmas Energizing, 12 days of Christmas Energizing. Nice. So I've got recently on the online on-demand channels there, on the All Access Pass channel and the bonus channel, I put in an energy medicine routine, which is so if you followed along on there, there's 12 exercises in it, and it takes about I think it's just under 11 minutes. It's about a 10-minute routine. So all those energy medicine exercises in there have some individual benefits. Some of them certainly have crossover, that there's multiple benefits or similar benefits in some of the exercises. So what we're going to do on Facebook, on our Facebook page, starting on Monday, December 13, that'll get us through and end on the 24th for 12 days. So we're just going to have a short video, probably about a 5-6 minute video daily, then quickly introduce you to the exercise, show you how to do it fast, and then maybe do 30-45 seconds of it together. And then we'll move along to day 1. So we'll just feature a different one each day. But know in the end, after you've seen all 12 of them, you could piece it together and you use some or all or none, if you want, to incorporate an energy routine into your daily lifestyle. So those are coming up. So if I read you the names, you may not know what I'm talking about, but I just thought I would share how or what each one might benefit as we lead up into it. So that's coming up soon. So the benefits would be things like to empty or remove stagnation in your body, to ground, if you heard of grounding or earthing, center yourself or balance yourself, or clear and calm mental worry or anxiety. That's a big one for some folks. Can help to blend your energies.
What does that mean?
Blending energies, good question. So typically, there's multiple energy systems in your body, if we think of that. So we're encouraging those energy systems to work in conjunction together as well. Sometimes when we talk about stagnation, when you talk about stagnation in energy, it's not like there's no movement, right? It's just kind of slowed or stuck, or maybe where energy might move. You think of a beaver, put a dam in a river, the energy, or excuse me, the water flows around it, but maybe it's not the best flow for the river, or how the energy might flow through yourself. So if you got like a bunch of tension, worry, and built up in your body, the energy may not be flowing in the best way. So when you remove that stagnation through encouraging the energy to move through its natural pathway, you can break up that stagnation. But the blending then is encouraging those energies to work together. So go back to the beaver dam explanation a little bit. So think of energy. You could think of energy through your body ideally flows more. I love this description, like DNA, like the helix shape of the DNA. So it's not just linear, straight up and down, but rather flowing and crossing itself. But what happens, yes, when you get into some of those stagnation states, energy may just flow linearly up and down through the body. But when it crosses, it has it's working to your advantage in healing, rejuvenating, in memory, in connecting brain, focus and all of those wonderful things. So when they're saying blending energies is to help them to work and support one another. So you then are potentially more creative or more can heal better or, and rather than just being linear. So I'll describe that more when we get into those.
No, yeah, I know
where was I? Okay, so the open energies, muscles and joints along the way for some of them, right? Some of the movements are just good mobility. So that's good for your joints and your lymphatic system at the same time to coordinate the whole brain. So that that one ties in with crossing energies. We got right side, left side hemispheres of the brain. And with good cross energies, we can have good connection of those two sides of the brain, giving you a whole brain equation that can help to surge or boost your energies to enhance your metabolism and boost your immunity. And to bring coherence to the energies of your heart and your mind. So like thinking positively and lovingly, you get some energy flow over, crossover between your heart and your mind. And the last one will be a unique exercise in that it's going to help to boost energy itself, but then we're going to add a mantra or an affirmation into that. So you're going to get some extra personal potential growth out of that, whatever. I'll give you some encouragement to create your own mantra in there. So there's 12 of them. So
that sounds great. I'm looking forward to this. Something a little different from the fitness challenge that we've done in the past. But I think you're going to get, when we think about the benefits of doing the 12 days of fitness challenge, you've listed a lot of those things. So this is just another way to get those benefits from, the fitness challenge without doing the fitness part, something else to kind of balance those energies.
Right.
Sounds good. I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be blasting out some info here in the next little bit to invite you to join us on Facebook. If you're not, if you don't follow our page, you could. And then daily, like I say, I didn't say, but probably about 11 a.m. is an approximation daily, depending on if anything pops up. Live video. If you can't join me live, then you just watch the repeat later at your own timing. But we're going to, somewhere in there, I'm going to build in an opportunity then to win, the potential to win a 30-day free subscription to the online on-demand bonus channel. Why? Well, because in that bonus channel is the recorded completion of that energy medicine routine. I've got an instructional video in there that goes into more detail, as well as the actual routine itself. So you could, if you happen to participate and you qualified to win or you get your ballots in, you could win 30 days access to that class. And then I think there's still seven or eight other videos in that bonus channel, like Pilates and the gentle yoga and core and stuff like that. But really, we're looking for you to maybe experience or have the experience to try out the energy daily. And I just called it the energy medicine routine, but really I would encourage you to have some kind of daily energy routine, whether it's you just pick one of these things and you do it daily, just because it will help condition your body to get there or stay there by practicing and conditioning it more and more regularly. So look for the 12 days of Christmas energizing coming up real soon.
It's interesting when you said to practice it daily, because it will help you build this habit to get there and to stay there. But isn't that the same with anything that we recommend in terms of improving your health? You just want to take one little habit, one little thing that you can change and just try to stick with it, every day, whether it's just having like an extra half a cup of water or decreasing your coffee consumption or getting in an extra carrot stick, whatever it is, but just trying to stick with that every day and then, build those habits in. So it's the same. We're always constantly improving our health and learning ways that we can work on our health. And I love that both of us have, started in fitness, but we're venturing off into other avenues and learning more things so that we can improve our health and our family's health, but also being able to share that with you. And then hopefully you'll pick up little tidbits here and there and incorporate them as well. So
Holistic health.
Yeah. Holistic health. All right. Well, I think that's it. Yeah. So thanks for watching. And
I got a sip left.
I got one sip left too.
All
so
right.
I'll see you next week.
We'll see
Cheers.
you next week.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.